Hey guys, Scott here. Today I want to talk about the end of the longest win streak in Dead by Daylight's history. It's Momo's 7th Blight streak that ended, I believe, at 1947. So almost 2,000 wins in a row, which in any other video game is the most ridiculous shit ever. But it actually happened, and it was ended by a 4-man comp team that obviously stream sniped him. Because, I mean, if you need to dethrone God, that's the way you do it. So a lot of this rubbed me the wrong way, and I wanted to talk about win streaks in general. To be clear, Momo's has come out on Twitter and said that he probably shouldn't have reacted as he did. It was just in the heat of the moment. If you're on a 1900 win streak and you lose a game, understandably, you could probably get a little upset. So I think that's just a very human reaction. But basically, he did the generic salty thing. You know, these guys are fucking losers. They suck. They're trash. You know, 1v1, screw me, blah, blah, blah. All that stuff. I don't even fault him for that shit. I mean, when you have that many wins in a row and then you lose like that, I don't care who you are, you're going to get upset and you're going to have probably an irrational response to it. So I don't even think he deserves to have shit for that. He has since gone on Twitter and clarified that I shouldn't have said that stuff. So I need to make a blanket statement before we go on. Very clear. He doesn't deserve shit for that kind of reaction because it's a heat of the moment type of thing. Going forward, the whole concept of win streaks, I hate. I hate win streaks in Dead by Daylight so much. Not because they don't like prove skill or anything. Obviously, you still have to be good because the sheer volume of games, you're going to get good teams, and that separates the bad players from the good players right there. But the vast majority of the time, it's essentially just Michael Jordan going to a middle school, basketball game and just punching kids in the face and dunking on them. It's not even worth watching. It's just pointless because the matchmaking in this game is so all over the place. Almost every time you're just beating up absolute babies, and it just doesn't really mean anything. Like, it would be much more impactful to have a 30 win streak against a comp team, or like a comp team that has 30 wins in a row in tournaments and stuff like that. And I know there are comp teams that have gotten like kind of close to that, or they've, had a bunch of streaks. And that to me is undeniably, objectively impressive, because now they're just winning because they're simply better. And that is insane. That is very, very impressive. But in public matches like this, it just doesn't really mean much of anything. It obviously requires you to be good at the game so you can show you're better, but because of how the matchmaking works, again, you're just beating up on babies most of the time. And the problem is, if you're going to willingly submit yourself to a win streak, you're going to start trying that. You have to play in a certain way, because you can't roll the dice that, even if it's only 1 in 100 games, you get the 4-man comp team, which that's probably about the right ratio, to be honest. Even if it's only 1 in 100 games, you don't know when that game's going to happen. So if you're going to do a win streak, you have to play as if you're going against that team every single time. Because if you play nice and then you don't realize that they're actually super coordinated until it's too late, you might lose. So playing like that, it dictates you have to play like a sweaty, a comp dude. You just have to do that, or you might unfortunately get the one team that actually is good and you play too nice against them, then you lose and it feels like shit. So you have to play like that. I don't care what kind of player you are. Even when I hate when Otstarva goes on his win streak. He's like one of the nicest players. He's super, super nice person in general. But when he's on those win streaks, he turns into a murderous machine. He's tunneling babies out at 5 gens, because you have to do that because you don't know if they are babies until it's too late. So I understand why. But my whole point is, when you submit yourself to doing these win streaks, you're basically signing a deal with the devil saying, I'm going to beat up a bunch of children for a very, very long time here, because that's just what I have to do. And it gets you views and stuff like that. I understand why people do it, but just the whole concept of it in general, it just rubs me the wrong way. And even in Momo's follow-up tweet where he said I shouldn't have, gotten salty about it and stuff like that, even in that tweet, he did say, they brought in insanely broken shit, insanely super strong shit, which they did, 100%. They absolutely did. And, there's not much he could have done there. And it just begs the question, dude, what the fuck do you think the 8,000 other survivors felt when you were doing the exact same thing to them? I feel like if you lose a 2,000 win streak, your only response should be a tweet that says, damn, it's about time. Because that's the only explanation, that's the only rationalization you should have when it comes to that. It's about time. There's no reason I should have been able to do this. I don't care if I'm the son of God. I should not be able to win in a multiplayer game 2,000 times in a row. That's absurd. So in that type of scenario, yeah, it just sort of rubs me the wrong way when they have that mindset, because, I did research. I went back and checked, not all previous games, obviously, but I checked, a bunch of previous games. And he's playing to win. He's tunneling and slugging and camping at 5 gens against people that are clearly not very good at the game. So he is beating the shit out of little kids over and over and over for thousands of games. And then when you get the one game that, they bring equally, if not stronger shit, to be completely fair. And then to have the reaction, well, there's nothing I could have done. Dude, like, how do you think the other survivors felt every game? You have been putting that on other people for God knows how long. Completely hopeless. There's nothing I could have done games. And I don't know. That's why I said I have like zero sympathy for losing a streak like this whatsoever, because of what you have to do to other people to get to that point. Again, there's no denying he's absurdly, stupidly good at Blight. One of, if not the best Blights in the world. I completely submit that, and that's fine. I just hate what it does to the overall community, because that is thousands of games that were fucking miserable for everybody else, and you know it. And that whole extreme comp mindset is fine in a competitive setting, but when you bring that to public matches, I feel like you just lose all right to shit talk anybody ever. Do what you want to do. It's great for views and stuff like that. I completely understand, but you do truly lose the right to shit talk everybody there. So I don't know. That whole scenario just rubs me the wrong way. And if I were ever on a streak like that, I would only ever just say, wow, that was ridiculous that I was able to do that, because it is. There's no multiplayer game in the world where you can win 2,000 games in a row. That's just in a complete asinine, ridiculous. Like, even like the few comp teams that I do know about that have gone on long tournament win streaks themselves, in like the 20s or something like that. I don't know the exact numbers, but that is insane to me. Even that, I can't think of many other games with competitive scenes that actually feature that. So basically, Dead by Daylight is as balanced in public matches. It's as strong as the builds and playstyles that you bring, but you can never know what you're going to get. So if you do want to win, you have to play in a certain way every time. The problem is, I would say 99.999% of the player base is not going for competitive win streaks on stream. And so we have people playing like this in lobbies for basically no fucking reason other than to just make everyone else miserable. And I just hate what it does to the community. I hate what it does to the average match. And win streaks like this definitely don't make it any better. So those are my thoughts on it. So blanket statements. Momo obviously stupidly good at Blight, but this shit is just fucking unnecessary, man. It's so ridiculous. That's it. Thanks for watching.